for another installment of Meet Your Potential 2012 GOP Candidate. Tonight we're featuring former Pennsylvania Senator Rick Santorum. He's semi-committed to a run, having dipped his toes in the presidential pool by forming an exploratory committee. That's how they do it. Santorum, of course, has an uphill battle because he only got 3% support in the latest NBC News poll, and frankly, I'm shocked it was that high. But he's trying to fix that this week with a campaign blitz. 9 events in 6 days in 3 states plus D.C. Good luck with the D.C. vote. Today, he checked the gun lobby off his list with a speech to the NRA. But with Santorum's history, he doesn't have much work to do to prove his social conservative credentials. But that doesn't mean he's not trying. Yesterday, Santorum railed on Planned Parenthood.
This is an organization that was founded on the eugenics movement, founded on racism. You can say, well, it's not that anymore. It's not far from where it was, in my opinion. A lot of evidence that the location of their clinics happen to be in places that were historically places where there are high concentrations of minorities, for example, and that advertising is geared toward that.
Right, it's not conservatives, it's Planned Parenthood that's racist. Yeah, I got it. Nice try. But in fact, fewer than 1 in 10 abortion clinics are located in predominantly black neighborhoods. So as always, he wasn't even close to right. Of course, that's not all Santorum has had to say on abortion.
The reason Social Security is in big trouble is we don't have enough workers to support the retirees. Well, 1/3 of all the young people in America are not in America today because of abortion, because 1 in 3 pregnancies end in abortion.
It's amazing how little sense that makes. Then they would also get Social Security later. He didn't think about that part. In addition to being radically anti-choice, Santorum planted his flag in the anti-gay camp back in 2003 in an interview with the Associated Press when he had this to say about same-sex marriage. Quote, "In every society, the definition of marriage has not ever, to my knowledge, included homosexuality. That's not to pick on homosexuality. It's not, man on child, man on dog, or whatever the case may be." Now, of course, he's never lived down that man on dog comment. Santorum also blamed a Catholic Church sex abuse scandal on liberal media's zealous promotion of alternative lifestyles. Yeah, the liberal media made the priests do it. Nice try. Now that he's staked his claim well into radical social conservative territory, Santorum tried to boost his foreign policy cred yesterday with a big speech. Well, it wasn't quite, I can see Russia from my house level, as Palin did, of course. It was certainly no Gorbachev tear down this wall either. He didn't even mention Afghanistan, America's longest war, and when he was asked about it, here's what he came up with.
The narrative was sort of a looking forward type of speech, not really bogged down. I mean, I did mention some of the current conflicts, but I did try to sort of not get bogged down in that, and just really paint more of a larger vision of our overall policy.
He apparently didn't think he'd get bogged down talking about Libya, though. That was a cut-and-dried case of President Obama's a terrible leader.
Decisive action against Gaddafi would have been the end of him, but that is not what we did. Instead, the president delayed any comment for several days, then announced his support for expelling Gaddafi. He then dithered by doing nothing to effectuate that policy.
But here's where it gets good. When he was asked what he would do in Libya instead, listen to what he said.
I don't have the information necessarily to make those kind of judgments in a way that I would feel comfortable answering that question. I think I'd have to have a lot more intel than it's available publicly as to what's going on in Libya, the nature of the rebels and the conditions on the ground.
That's great. So he doesn't have enough intel to make up his own mind, but he does have enough intel to know that Obama's definitely wrong. Lack of intelligence has been a problem for Santorum before. In 2006, he held a press conference announcing that the U.S. has found WMDs in Iraq. Oops. But Santorum's speech yesterday was about slamming Obama's foreign policies, and he threw in some good old-fashioned fear-mongering for good measure. He called radical Islam a, quote, existential threat that was extending its tentacles from Africa to America. And he said they're not just doing it through acts of terror.
It's more, including the non-violent efforts to insinuate Sharia law in Western countries, including our own.
Oh, no, not Sharia law! But radical Islam has been long a fear of Santorum's. In 2006, he was one of only 2 senators to vote against confirming Robert Gates as Secretary of Defense. And he did it because Gates had the temerity to advocate talking to Iran and Syria as part of the solution to the Iraq War. So there's your primer on Rick Santorum: anti-gay, anti-choice, anti-Muslim. And in his last election in 2006, the voters were anti-Santorum. He lost to Bob Casey Jr. by 18 points, the worst loss for a Republican senator in Pennsylvania. And that was even after a last-ditch effort for victory by launching Gathering Storm Tour, where he told people that Democratic victory would be a disaster for the future of the world. And that didn't work either, because he was a loser.